I do not think that an old fellow like me need have been sitting here to try and prevent your entertaining abject notions of yourselves, and talking of yourselves in an abject, ignoble way, but to prevent there being by chance among you any such young men as, after recognizing the
and the banking system, security, etc. And let's not talk about Syria either here. Iran involvement was very direct. They supported militias, Shia militias, alongside Hezbollah to kill many citizens. And if you can go now in the internet and check it out. I'm hearing my voice. Yeah, you know.
But you're doing very well. You're doing very well.
Sorry?
You're doing, keep going.
Yeah, I was saying that when I care about human rights, let's talk about what Iran committed in terms of the human rights atrocities in Syria. Let's take it from 2011. You can just write it down. Just look it up. From 2011 till 2022. Look at the living casualties. Compare it to the Palestinians, the civilian casualties from 1948 till now. The number is huge. More than 500 Syrians and 900 civilians were killed by the direct involvement by IRGC alongside Hezbollah.
You mean 500,000. You mean 500,000.
500,000, yeah, that's right. I'm not talking about Iraq since 2003 and 2014 and how they were they organized and command people Netherlands under the umbrella of something called the Popular Mobilization Forces. So if we apply the same standards, okay, let's do that. If Iran is actually now saying, oh, they're not interested in my country, why did not Iran ask this question in the first place when they had the balls to go and interfere in other countries like that, in Syria and Iraq? Look at Lebanon right now. See what kind of conversation right now, what Iran has done to the Lebanese people and the Lebanese government. Shia and Sunni and Christians, look at them. Let's apply the same standards. So that's what I'm going to say. And my question for Saul.
They murdered the president of Lebanon, too.
Yeah, they made a treaty. Yeah, a lot of things. So many things.
But you failed to say that it was created out of the necessity of resistance to the Israeli occupation. So it's not like
How is that your business? How is that your business?
Hezbollah did not come to the US out of bombs. They actually came out of the fact that they made south of Lebanon, and that's where literally close to the north of occupied Palestine. They actually came and literally occupied the south of Lebanon. So the people.
Right, and we'll give them the right to do that.
Yeah, and by the way, they failed at the bottom line.
the Lebanese people wanted them there. That's what gave them the right.
No, they want them out. They want them out.
That's not true. No, you don't know who you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about, my family.
So what the families from there? What that got to do with the country?
They didn't want them there.
Tell them, you don't understand that obviously with alongside right, they actually needed a massive which is known international sabotage.
Yeah, but why don't you tell them what preceded that massacre, though? Hold on a second.
Now you're saying the same thing to other people, but you don't want IRGC in Syria. You can answer that question to Tella.
But tell them before that phalangist group in Lebanon ended up massacre. Yes, I do agree. Israel deliberately let them commit a massacre. With that being said, is maybe the phalangist Lebanese that militia that did it, that was the
time, Lebanese, they're having the balls and go and negotiate for their countries. Hezbollah themselves, their leaders, they're trying to see what Iran would tell them to do.
True.
That's the level.
I mean, by the way,
That's the level of the division in a sovereign nation to Lebanon. It used to be the Switzerland of the Middle East. I like Lebanese people. I don't think they deserve that. But they're dragged into it by the name of the resistance on behalf of the feelings of specific group. I would say mainly Shia, Sunni, and Arizal specific regimes, mainly the left.
I understand.
So they're not expressing the feelings of all the majority.
I understand, but look, Lebanon is not.
Specific groups they see.
Okay, this
they
is
have to
specific
live. Other groups they don't have to live because they don't see the same.
I understand, but
thing.
you're not
and North Africa.
But 50% of the Lebanese are also this specific group. I understand you don't like them, but there's not that they're not Lebanese. They're born in Lebanon, they speak Arabic, they're Lebanese national.
They're not loyal to Lebanon. They're not loyal to
I
Lebanon.
understand, but they're still Lebanese. Understand?
That's the
they're
problem.
still Lebanese.
The problem is they're Lebanese.
You might
They're
like,
Lebanese.
listen.
If I were a Christian from Lebanon, I would say you are my brother. You're Lebanese like me.
Listen,
Okay, if
you're
you're Shia or
not-
Sunni.
you
But
might
the
not
thing
like
is,
Islam.
your body is here, but your mind is operating elsewhere. So they are Lebanese. I didn't say the problem is that they are Lebanese. That's the problem. My Lebanese fellow, my Lebanese brother.
God, why
he's
should you take
living with
you
me
down
and
the
he's
fucking track?
operating.
It's none of your business.
What is that?
It's ties and green and that kind of.
Shut the fuck up. It's none of your business. What are you talking about?
The Taj agreement was very clear that the power was shared among the Christians, Muslims, Shia, Sunni.
Is it really
Very clear.
shared? Is it
Well,
really
that was the
shared?
Taj agreement. Whether it's
The Taif agreement that was on paper. But in reality,
in reality,
who's controlling Lebanon?
who is controlling
Who's
it?
taking Lebanon as a hostage for more than 20? No, you understand. You have to state facts, logic, and reason.
But the
There's data. There's the reality in front of you. But reality is they're not allowed to govern their own country.
But
This
the
is
head
the
of
first time.
the president is Christian now. What are you talking about?
Because it's Christian and finally after 20 years. 20 years, Hezbollah and Iran. But Iran's money and Iranian power and influence over Lebanese government. Finally now, for the first time, everyone is happy. Everyone is supporting the government. You know why? Because they have the sense of like, finally, we're getting back to the country. Please go ahead. And now what Shia are doing, Hezbollah is doing, they're waiting for Iran's permission. That's the problem.
Next election, vote for people who are not
By the way, I'm not.
you can vote for Christians.
By the way, I'm not Lebanese. I'm not Lebanese. I can understand the context. I can understand the complexity of that region. It's not that simple. You can go to the university in the West and just throw lies, say your bullshit stuff like, down imperialism, all our problems are caused by Israel. And okay, I get that, but it's not that simple. It's not that simple. And specifically for Iran and Saudi Arabia, it's another story. But we're talking about Iran right now. Since you actually oppose American intervention in your country, which I understand, but at the same time, there's a domino effect. There's a chain of causation. We don't have to ignore that. There's a chain of causation. You cannot break it. It's not that simple. You only start, oh my God, look at us. Look at what US and Israel are doing. What are you doing? For more than 20 years. And it's deep. And people actually fed up from that region. That's why I didn't think that Israel has the right to do what they're doing. Of course, I don't want any war in the region. But at the same time, I don't know. That's what I want to say.
She's saying very clearly that she wants Iran out of Lebanon is saying they want Iran out of Lebanon. So you're being hypocritical. You're saying, oh, you shouldn't interfere in Iran's affairs. Meanwhile, Iran is in Syria, Gaza, Iraq. They have no right to be there. And this is going to end. You have no right to have these proxies. And we're going to stop it. That's the...
I mean, the country is
100%.
full of oil.
100%.
That was the argument that he was using.
100%.
Why Iran should have a nuclear.
It's inevitable because you're not trustworthy.
And all of a sudden, Saudi Arabia is trusted.
Sorry,
That's correct.
that was not the argument with Iran. The United States said we'll sell enriched uranium to Iran, but we're only going to do it at a certain level. And Iran said, nah, we're all set. Iran basically said the quiet part out loud, which is they don't really give a shit about a nuclear program for the sake of nuclear power. We want enriched uranium. We're not going to stop enriching uranium until it reaches a certain level. You can spin that however you want to spin that, but it's very, very obvious what Iran wants. On one hand, I'm an American citizen. I want what's best for America, and sometimes that coincides with the rest of the world. But I will fully admit my own bias. Will you admit your bias as well? Like,
Are you going to respond to you about your question? Actually, what the fuck?
Collateral damage.
No answer?
What we call it.
Do you have a different question?
Who would you say you're biased on behalf of?
I mean, you would call it literally a collateral damage.
I'm biased on behalf of the United States. As an American who votes and pays taxes in America, I'm biased on behalf of America. Who would you say you're biased on behalf of?
From the Earth planet, I don't have any nationalism that you guys probably have. I care about.
He won't even admit that he's Iranian, Ben.
No,
He won't even admit that he's Iranian.
Are you Iranian, sir? Are you Iranian?
I care about the.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Are you
It doesn't
Iranian?
matter about my ethnic background. That's got nothing.
No. I'm genuinely curious. Are you Iranian?
I hold my opinion not based on my place of birth. If that's what you're asking.
He's not there.
Okay, so
He's not on it.
I hold my opinion based on what I
Wow.
see rather than my place of my birth. I don't
Okay.
think
So I'm just curious.
just because I'm from a certain country, I should be okay.
No, I
with
think
just
you're
to
just
die.
like just a nuisance.
People die being protest collateral damage.
I'm genuinely curious. Sorry, I'm genuinely curious. Do you think that on this app in this room? Do you think that you're swaying people towards your positions or away from your positions? Do you think this is going well for you, or do you think this is going badly for
I
you?
think there are many bots in the audience. There are few people that they listen to me and they listen to your side, but they can also have their own critical thing. I don't want them to.
Oh,
do
sure.
what I'm saying.
No, I fully admit that there's lots of people that can have critical thinking, 100%. But do you think you're doing a good job of portraying your side? You're not admitting your own biases. You're
No,
saying,
literally, like
You're saying you're biased, but you won't say what you're biased on.
I am biased when it comes to what you guys call collateral damage. I expose that, be it from any side. I have issues.
Sure,
with-
but when I pressed you earlier on something that, again, Ali Khamenei admits the fact that he committed human rights violations.
Like, that's not.
But you won't. But you
I
won't.
actually fact checked that myself. Literally, what he said was that that matter needs to be investigated, and that needs to be whoever committed any crime.
Was that was according to him?
Well, according to the media, the journal that I just read, he says there should be accountability.
Which journal was that?
Well, I can look it up for you, and I can.
Yeah, please post it. Could you please post it in chat because I don't believe it.
I don't obviously have it right now, but I can look it up for you.
You said well while we were talking you looked it up. So I mean I would assume you have
I mean, you
pretty
want me
close
to go-
access to it.
You want me to tell like you want
Yes. What I'm saying is
look for something for you, and then leave it in the chat, and then for the next 5 minutes, you guys talk about completely different topics. Okay.
No. I want it because I believe you.
Fair enough.
I do not believe it.
I think, I'm sorry that I'm jumping in. I think Mr. Soren is some element of the Iranian government. You know, whatever he's saying, it is just the words are coming from Iranian media. He's saying the number of the people who were killed in Iranian people in this street in 2 nights, 3,100, but it is absolutely wrong. It is more than 35,000, and he hasn't seen the bodies was delivering with the 40-foot containers and in the cemeteries in all cities. And also, Mr. Soren is saying that America can negotiate with the Iranian government people. It is absolutely wrong. These people are the most biggest trick. They are, they are stealing Iranian money, Iranian budget. More than half of Iranian budget goes to the Arab people, like Hezbollah or Hashd-e-Shabi or Tusi, or Syria. Thanks that Syria was, just released from Bashar, and one guy came there and is controlling very, very well.
What's his name, Mohsen? What's the name of the guy?
Mohsen, you're an Iranian
What
person.
is the name of the guy, Mohsen?
Iranian citizen, please, let me talk.
You're an Iranian citizen, Mohsen?
Yes, I am.
Let him land.
Well, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you.
Let him land.
Well, but Mr. Soren doesn't allow me. He's keep talking. Mr. Soren, your information about Iran it is completely wrong. America can negotiate with the killers, with the bastards, with the people stealing the Iranian budget, and sending to the Arab countries, having Hashd-e-Shabi or the Hezbollah. Hezbollah was controlling whole Lebanon. Lebanon was really suffered from Hezbollah. Hezbollah was created by the Iranian people, and Hassan Nasrallah, which I'm very glad that he's been killed. He has told in his speeches that as long as Iran has money, we are okay. We are getting the food, dress, weapon, everything from Iran. So, the population in Iran, more than 70% are living under the, they have their income is under the regular income that must be. Today, right now,
Under the poverty level, we said. Under the poverty level.
Yes, the poverty line, absolutely. Anyway, Iran, Mr. Trump shouldn't, negotiate with, Ghalibaf or whatever. Ghalibaf is the same son of a bitch that, almost 20 years ago or some years ago, he was the chief of the police in Iran. He went to the university and put handcuffs to the students' hands, and he just pushed them from the roof to the ground in 3 levels, 3-story buildings, and they died. Anyway, Unfortunately, the information Mr. Soren says, the people are.
Look,
They are.
listen,
They
you
are
said the United States.
let me finish, please. Let me finish. Mr. Soren is saying that they are hanging the people, executing the people are because of the drug. Absolutely not. There is no drug, traffic in Iran. And if it is by the big brothers, not the ordinary people. Yes, if they find a drug and somebody's, carrying it, they will treat them very badly. But these people, they were killed, these days are the people they were catched at the, in October, 2 nights in the demonstration, the peaceful demonstrations, they put it in the jail and now they are keep hanging them and executing them. Anyway, everything is, terrible in Iran. We don't have enough electricity, we don't have enough water, we don't have, the prices are keep going on every day, every single day. What are you talking about? Mr. Trump should, not negotiate with these people. These people, they've been negotiating. Please,
let him land. Let him land.
Go ahead, man.
You see that they've been negotiating the nuclear, uranium and whatever, garbage that they are making for 20 years. They're just, buying time. They just, making fun of the people, and they do what they were doing it. And now we find out that they have, 400 some kilogram of, 60%, enriched uraniums. And now they are, they build the missiles. With the missiles, they are, hitting all the countries around the Gulf. And imagine if they had the atomic bomb, what they were going to do. They were going to just kill all the, region and make a really mess of it. Anyway, I hope Mr. Trump doesn't trust them anymore, because these people, and right now, we don't know if really Khamenei's son is alive, because nobody has seen it, nobody has heard from him, nobody has seen his picture. Even the foreign minister of Iran, a couple of days ago, he had an interview. He said, I haven't seen him yet. Anyway, this is a very big mess, and people are suffering in Iran right now.
So listen, I've got a follow-up question for you. You said the United States is not supposed to negotiate with Iran because of the fact that Iran is government code by code, different people. But I've got a backup question to you. The leader of Syria, Jolani, a designated terrorist, there was $10 million bounty from him for killing Americans. He was the former Al-Qaeda leader. They gave him the suit. Now President Trump's actually shaking hands with
Al-Qaeda, but I understand what you're trying to say. Mr. Soren, I know what you're saying. Al-Qaeda was killing the enemies.
Yeah,
Iranian government killing his own citizens. This is the big difference. The big difference. Iranian, government is killing his own citizens. They went out in the streets.
Come on.
How about one at a time?
Listen,
We can have
exactly is what the truth. The truth is, Iranian people, they went out for demonstration. Iranian people went out for demonstration. You keep talking. Don't talk, please. Listen. Iranian people, they went out at the night for 2 nights for demonstration. Peaceful demonstrations. They killed almost 40,000. They went to the hospitals. They asked the doctors.
Okay. One at a time. You guys are both gonna just go to the audience. It's really annoying.
Right. All I'm saying, Mohsen, I understand you don't like this Iranian government. I give you that. What I'm saying is that United States.
They are international terrorism.
I understand that. But Al-Qaeda leader, former Al-Qaeda leader, was $10 million bounty on interest called Jolani. He became a president of Syria. Still, $10 million was on his bounty last time I checked. But now they removed it. They gave him a nice suit. They trim his beard.
Why are you changing the subject from Syria? We're talking about Iran.
One mic on shore.
Because he was saying you cannot negotiate with Iran because of the human rights violation. And I was trying to remind him that that's not how geopolitics works. That's not how U.S. works. The U.S. literally shook hands
You don't say how
They
US
pretended
votes.
those bounty on his head.
Who are you?
In
How
White
are
House,
you to say?
in Washington.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to say how US votes? Motherfucker, we will fuck Mullah. All of the Mullah, we will never leave one of them behind.
So, just really quick, Soren, I posted in the chat a link to the article where Ali Khamenei, let's just say for the sake of argument, I don't believe you, but let's just say for the sake of argument, it was only 3,100 people. 3,090 is one of the, this is what I have here. Again, I posted a link in the chat from a BBC article from January 17th of 2026, where Ali Khamenei literally said thousands have been killed, some in inhumane and savage manner. So he himself has, again, admitted human rights atrocities. I'm still waiting for your link. Maybe you've posted it. I haven't seen it yet. But I'm still waiting for your link, because you did say that you were going to provide me with one. So I guess I'll continue to wait for that. I don't think you have one. I think you're full of shit, personally. But that's fine. I think everybody that's listening knows that you're full of shit, to be totally honest. Again,
I mean, do you have anything apart from my comment? Do you have something constructive? This is just.
I have a link from BBC where Ali Khamenei admits committing human rights atrocities, and yet for some reason you still will not condemn the Iranian government.
Well,
you condemn every other government on the face of the planet except for the Iranian government.
But to be fair, he did bring up Giuliani, and Giuliani is a lifelong terrorist. And as soon as he took power, they were killing the Druze, they were killing the Christians, the Alawites. I mean,
I don't have
he's every bit as bad.
I understand that, Pepe. I have no issue with the fact that Soren will condemn America. I understand he doesn't like America, or doesn't like the Trump administration. That's fine. I understand that he doesn't like the Israeli government. That's fine as well. I understand that he doesn't like the Saudi Arabian government. That's fine as well. But for some reason, he has absolutely no problem condemning every single one of these governments, except for the Iranian government. Except for the fact that the Iranian government literally admits to committing human. I don't know why you're talking, Peter. The Iranian government admits to committing human rights atrocities, and yet you still will not condemn them. Please.
Ben, I'm just reading the BBC article you said. I mean, he literally said that 3,090 people have been killed. He admitted to that. 3,090 people, not 30,000. So I don't know where you're going with this article. Yes, he did admit, and I also say this is 3,000.
So this is for the sake of argument, it's 3,090, which I personally don't believe. But let's just say for the sake of argument, it's 3,090.
Yeah.
Do you condemn the Iranian government for committing those atrocities?
Well, there is a context into that 3,090 people, because if I want to go ahead with the public narrative,
without mentioning other countries,
I would definitely condemn the innocent people that were killed on those 2 days.
You're condemning the people that were killed.
The people,
not the government that killed them.
I condemn the people that committed that crime. But the fact is,
which people
I can tell you which people. I can definitely condemn those people who agitate violence, instigate violence. Those people who literally
I don't care.
You're running away from answering.
I'm going to condemn the people that on the 2nd of January.
It was government who was supposed to support the safety of.
Please,
I'm going to condemn those
individuals. Can I please?
Like I can tell you, the former CIA director, the former Secretary of State, Mark Pompeo, 2 days prior to these protests, literally tweeted, he says, I'm going to extend my congratulations to all Iranian protesters alongside armed Muslims.
Again, whether or not it was instigated or not, you're still not condemning the actual people who committed the Again, I understand what you think of the United States. Everybody in this room, everybody in the audience understands what you think of the United States, and that's fine. You have a right to. You have a right to think what you think, and you have a right to believe what you believe. But again, Soren, and all those who are listening, Soren, you refuse to condemn the actual action of killing some in inhumane and savage manner. That is a direct quote from Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Yeah, I mean,
you refuse to condemn the Iranian
listen,
government
when
for those atrocities.
If I know for a fact that prior to this incident, that there was the Mossad literally was active.
Again, you keep bringing up other governments. That's not what I'm asking about. I'm asking you, do you condemn the Iranian government for committing those atrocities that they themselves...
And what would be the role of Mossad in that violence? I want to keep everyone...
Lauren, if you would just condemn it, you would win the argument over Norm forever. Why don't you just say, yes, I condemn it?
Ben, but sure. Ben, Norm.
What was the...
No, I'm talking about Norm.
Oh, Norm? Okay, fair enough.
What was the...
But again, Soren,
just say yes, just condemn it.
Oh my gosh, dude, I'm giving you every single out that you could possibly have.
Look it up. I'll put it in the chat for you, Ben. I'll put it in the chat.
Again, I have my own opinions of Mossad and Israel.
It's not your opinion. It's what Mark Pompeo said.
But again,
It's interesting since Pompeo spends a lot of time in Israel and he is very close with the Israeli government. But Pompeo travels with security for the rest of his life because the Iranians have tried to assassinate him, and on numerous occasions they've uncovered plots against Mike Pompeo.
That's irrelevant.
So yeah, no, it's not irrelevant. You brought up his name.
Mike Pompeo.
You brought up Mike Pompeo. I can put lots of stuff about Mike Pompeo, but he has security. If you ever see him now, he always has security because of the Iranian plots against him. Isn't that interesting, Soren? The poor man for the rest of his life has to have security.
I understand. The same
because of Iran.
Because of Iran, the same person he said
he still won't condemn it.
He won't condemn it. He won't condemn it.
I'm literally giving him every opportunity. Look, like,
I think Mr. Soren is
hey, Soren,
he's making some money to...
Hey, Soren, this is really easy. This is really easy. Do I condemn you?
I think you're
gaslighting. How much you make a month?
No. Sorry, hey, Soren, let me do this. Sorry, let me do this really quick. It's really easy for me to condemn the evil thing the United States has done. It's really easy for me to say, hey, the United States at one point, slavery was legal in the United States. The American government has done really horrible things. It's really easy for me to say, hey, guess what? I condemn the American government when they do bad things.
Can you condemn Israel for genocide?
But the problem is that why does he have to agree to accede to that? To me, it's kind of like it's not a good faith way of debating someone.
No, I'm not doing it for him. I know he's not going to do it because I know where his loyalties lie, and that's fine. I'm doing it for everybody else in the audience that can see.
My loyalty is to truth, nothing but truth.
Your loyalty is obviously not the truth. Otherwise, you can condemn and say, "Hey, yeah, they should be condemned for it."
I mean,
but it's not the truth.
Come up with the Mark Pompeo. I cannot come up with other evidence that this particular protest was obviously engineered by foreign forces, but you don't want to address that because it's not going to figure for now. You're gonna say there's no accountability whatsoever about any other foreign actors.
Right, and you have yet to give any accountability to the Iranian government, which apparently the Israelis are responsible, the Americans are responsible.
Yes,
turns out every single. Probably the Swiss, maybe the Swiss are responsible. I don't know. Maybe the safety of the people. Yeah, maybe Brazil's responsible as well. Everybody's responsible except for the people that actually kill the people. They're not the ones that are responsible for some reason. We find that very interesting.
Listen, everyone is responsible, but if you want to tell me it's 100% the government, I'm not going to buy it.
I didn't say it was 100% the government. I'm saying the government is the ones that the government is
going to condemn everyone individually. Tell me which one was also accountable. For that.
The ones that committed the action, the Iranian governments are the ones that committed the action.
Hold on.
You said you're willing to condemn every single one that was involved. You said no. Soren, stop for a second. Soren, you just said you were willing to condemn every single actor involved in this horrible atrocity.
Based on what they did, yes.
Correct. So you condemn the Iranian government for actually committing the atrocity.
There are also the victims. Why was 700?
No. That wasn't my question. You said you're willing to condemn every single responsible party in this.
Yes.
Do you stand by that statement? Yes or no?
100%. And Iranian government is not on the top of the list. It's not. The top of the list.
But you condemn them for the action.
The top of the list is the U.S. government.
But you condemn them for the action.
By the way, out of 3,000 people, out of that 3,000 people, 700 of them were police officers. Did you know that?
This is so funny.
Ben, did you know that 700
we condemn Iran for the action of their own people.
No,
But
man,
don't
seven
go to Iran.
hundred police officers.
Thorin, vote in the poll up top so we can move on from
Fuck
this.
yourself, so muted me.
Oh, okay.
That's hysterical. Soren, you said that you're willing to condemn everybody involved in it except for the
Now,
people that
I
actually
think
committed
the
the
number
action.
one.
That's hilarious.
No, it's not, because the number one is the Mossad that instigate that violence. Number two is U.S. government's Mark Pompeo literacy, and a lot of other foreign actors.
But
Yes,
everybody-
also
Apparently, everybody has personal agency except for the Iranian
Ever
government.
killed 700
There is
police
mullah in your
officers. I'm gonna do that
ass.
as well.
Everybody has. Remember
Look,
this.
do you understand
Everybody has
that
personal
if you-
agency in the
listen,
world,
man, don't be-
except for the Iranian government.
Imagine if someone killed a police officer in the United States. What's going to happen? 700 law enforcement.
Can I say something?
You know that.
So if ICE agents kill an American citizen and it was an unjustified killing, then yeah, I would absolutely condemn ICE and I would condemn the American government for killing. Yeah, so I have no issue with it being like, hey, guess what?
Just because of that, you cannot kill ICE officers.
I'm a voting American citizen, and I'm
Understand,
like,
but
hey,
you
I can vote my own
cannot. I
government. But for
encourage
some
you,
reason,
do not
you're saying
kill ICE
that
officers.
you're willing to go after everybody
Ben,
that's
I
everybody's
encourage
responsible for
Ben,
this.
I
For the
encourage you.
3,090, which I think is an
Ben, you're
understatement.
talking over
But
me. I understand you don't like ICE officers, but I encourage you not to kill.
I didn't say that I
because
didn't
you
like
don't
ICE officers.
That's
I
not
like
how the
ICE officers.
civilized human beings do.
I like ICE. I like
Can I-
ICE officers.
Understand? If you don't like them,
I
you can't
support.
kill-
I
do you
support.
understand that?
I support immigration and customs enforcement.
Understand,
100%.
if you don't like
Soren.
police officers, don't kill
I support
people.
our police officers, but I have no problem.
Understand?
All right. No. Okay, we're good on that one. Tala, you've been trying to get in.
Yes.
There you go.
I want to say something from the bottom of my heart to Soren. Okay, let's not go into this debate of like condemning and everything. I just want to start by saying we are living on what I call it humanity era, and this era is not about like. I think what I'm saying now, it's not about being good. I think it's about appearing good to people. And I just want to highlight this because this is very fundamental reality of our modern geopolitics, I would say. There is a performative morality. Regimes like Iran, and before even Iran, regimes across what so-called Arab region or Islamic region, they posture themselves as the champions of human rights and anti-imperialism on a global stage. And I see it very clearly because I came from a country, I lived under dictatorship. We were hearing the same thing what Iran is actually now trying to manufacturing like an existential, like a foreign enemy, and trying to invoke like international solidarity, but at the same time, those dictatorships, they have like strict domestic rules and internal distress. And they try to make their own people as their if they come up and protest against their governments, they're like the mercenaries of external enemies. Iran has a long history of violence. It didn't happen now, Soren. It happened since 1979, since the revolution. There's a lot of mass execution against political prisoners. There's a lot of rules actually imposed between the prophets, human rights concerns. So we talk about also Iraq and Muammar Gaddafi and Bashar al-Assad. Gaddafi regime, Gaddafi himself positioned Libya as a premier financial of global anti-Western liberalization movement in Northern Ireland and elsewhere. And internally, he committed in the 1996 like a famous massacre called Abu Slim massacre. They killed in 1 hour more than 1,270 political prisoners. So it's the same pattern, not only in Libya, but also in Syria under Al-Hafid al-Assad, the father of Bashar al-Assad. like he had like there was like something called Hama massacre under his leadership. More than 10,000 to 40,000 people, civilians, were killed. I'm not gonna talk about the civil war. Let's talk about Iraq. Let's see what Saddam al-Assad, he wrapped literally his regime in a Palestinian cause. This is very interesting because all of those regimes, they have one thing in common: supporting Palestinian cause, and they're positioning themselves as the liberators, anti-Western, imperialism, anti-Zionism, while internally nobody's about Al-Anfal massacre. Anfal massacre, it happened in 1988, a systemic campaign targeting Kurdish people. You know how many civilians were killed in that massacre? More than 182,000 civilians. And there's another one. There was a chemical attack that's very famous in Iraq. It's called Halabja chemical attack massacre. More than 5,000 civilians were killed. We're not going to talk about the uprising of the Shia Iraqi and the Kurds in 1991. More than 50,000 people were killed in weeks, not months, not years. So there's a mechanism, there's a performative humanity. If we want to talk about human rights, let's talk about all forms of human rights violations. It's not pick and choose. It's not a buffet. It's not like there's a mid when it comes to human rights. We're all humans. We say that, like we have to, we shouldn't actually talk about what's happening in Iran or Sudan or Yemen or Libya or Syria. We only talk about Palestinian, because, you know why? Because the Jewish are involved. So this is very, very clear. I mean, I lived this, I'm a survivor, I call myself a survivor.
The Jewish are evil?
Sorry?
Did you say that Jewish are evil?
I didn't understand.
She was condemning that, Peter.
No, I'm saying let's not lie, let's not perform. If we care about human rights, I would condemn the Israeli government, of course. I'm not here to worship any government. I did not survive a dictatorship to worship any government. I'm a Canadian citizen. I would condemn my government. I mean, I'm paying taxes. I would condemn any government, Israeli, US, God himself. Okay, if there's a human rights atrocity. But they will not defend the government and pretend they're representing a nation, a civilization, just by being attacked. And you now appear like you're the anti-imperialist and anti-Western intervention in the Middle East, while at the same time you are committing genocide internally, and you have like a common pattern between all of those dictatorships: Iran, Libya, Syria, Iraq. All of them, they were positioning themselves as the axis of resistance against Zionist projects, while internally I'm from Libya.
Thank you for your.
I'm from Libya, by the way. I'm an indigenous person. I'm a minority, religious, and ethnic minority. I'm not an Arab. I'm ruled by a majority Arab Muslim, of course, but I'm not the majority. I'm a person who I consider myself as an indigenous. Indigenous people. I'm from the north. In the southern part of Libya, there are other indigenous groups. They don't have a citizenship till now. While on the other hand, there is a law in Libya that allows any Arab to hold a Libyan nationality under what we call the Arab Nationality Act, that allows a Palestinian citizen to get citizenship in the Libyan soil, while an indigenous person they're not allowed to get a citizenship. They go in public and they try to condemn, oh my God, Israeli is doing this and Israeli is doing that, while they're doing the same and even worse. It's like Bashar al-Assad when he was invited literally 3 years ago to an Arab summit condemning Israel by committing human rights atrocities in Gaza.
Is situation better now compared to Muammar Gaddafi?
No, you can't speak until you vote for him.
By the way, I really value what you have said, Tama.
Go ahead.
Because, yeah.
I value what you said, but I will add to that. You have told.
You go ahead and vote up top, Soren, okay? So I really want to hear you speak.
All right.
Go ahead.
Did you vote yet, Soren, or no? Did he vote?
Oh, he left. Did he leave?
Oh, shit. He left.
The people who pay him doesn't fund that. That's the one.
I just posted.
Wow, there you go.
And whoever's paying his bills they're not getting their money's worth out of this guy.
What happened to Randy? Was he speaking?
I'll hand it.
Yeah, he was interrupting me. But that was very telling, for real, Joe. That was. So that shows a lot.
I'll
So I'll
hand
take it down.
Beaver. Look, it's still. Go ahead, Matt. Oh, Joe, I didn't mean to talk over you. I'll say real quick. He really is putting up a big fight, or putting in the fight. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Joe.
Can I ask you a question, Joe? And guys?
We want to do commentary of what we just observed.
Yeah, that's the question. Who do you think is more die hard with their regime, Tiger or Soren?
That's a good one. And I think that's the point here. What Abby's alluding to with that question is we have to be really careful as Americans that there are these foreign adversaries, I mean, lack of better terms, that are intentionally trying to divide.
Microphone reverb adjustment.
Foreign nations know the public opinion of America does matter in American citizens. And what we just saw are demonstrated by Ben. You kept drilling and dug in there. It was amazing to watch. And yeah, I mean, clearly Soren his appeal to emotion is biased and jaded. And we see that now. I don't think anyone.
Again, the United States has done some awful things, and anybody who denies that is living with their head in the sand. But the United States' record on human rights is incredible in terms of the amount of liberation that has come out of the United States or American-led campaigns around the world. So
hold on. That's not true, man.
It's sort of disingenuous to say that.
Hold on, I just heard that nigga say some bullshit, man.
Niggas
Niggas had to fight for that shit. And just freely, willingly,
of course not,
change the human rights.
But
So I mean, if you gon' dress it, dress it correctly, bro. They didn't just willingly change it for the likes of human rights, bro. Niggas have to shed blood, sweat, and tears for that shit, man. It's a difference.
Again, if you listen to what I'm saying in the entirety of the context of what I'm saying.
Oh, I heard you. I ain't even been speaking, but I heard you though.
But I'm saying this in regards to what Soren was talking about. I have no issue going after the American government for the atrocities that the American government has done, both against black people and a variety of other people. I mean, hell, we put our own people into concentration camps during World War II. The Japanese internment camps in World War II. Look up Manzanar, right? Like this has been, the United States has had a very, very colorful record. So I have no issue going after the United States. I find it interesting when we have foreign actors like Soren in these rooms, which I don't have any issue with these people coming into these rooms. I have no issue because he made it very, very clear where his loyalties truly lie, which is his loyalties do not lie with human rights. His loyalties do not lie with dignity and any of that stuff. His loyalties lie with the Iranian government because of all the groups that he was willing to go after. And again, I have my criticisms of the American government. I have criticisms of the Canadian government, the Israeli government, and a wide variety of different governments and actors and players around the world. I have no issue saying, "Hey, I condemn those people or condemning their actions."
So you're willing to acknowledge that America did not free willingly change the laws and rights based off of just kind of
Of course, I acknowledge that. 100%.
We did take ownership for Kent State after it happened when we killed 4 of our own citizens, correct? I mean, that was a big seismic change after that happened.
Never had one lesson.
Sure.
Correct.
Those were scared reserves, what do you call it? Reservists. They didn't know it. They were letting them get close to them. They were so inexperienced, and I know they were so bad for people shot.
Most of these human rights, as far as the United States, most of the human rights that's in place and changes, the United States seen the shit that was going on, and it either took for somebody to die, some riots, some blood to be shed, for them to be like, oh, maybe we should change how we view human rights. So, I mean, I'm pro-American, you know what I mean? I fuck with the United States, but this propaganda that we just openly changed rights and we was for human rights, that's cap.
Nobody's saying that. No, at least I'm certainly not saying that. I'm not saying the context of what is going on here at all. Like I'm absolutely not saying that. What's going on
I think the larger point, Timothy, is to try and figure out if we're dealing with good faith actors or bad faith actors. Clearly, Thorin was a bad faith actor. Ben can sit here and at least explain that, yes, America has committed atrocities. What we just witnessed was Soren has a pure propagandist agenda on this app to sway the minds of Americans, one way or the other. And the only reason we got to point this out is because there's such a heavy anti-Israelist position, which I don't disagree on some of the arguments about Benjamin Netanyahu and things like that. However, you have to know it's being fueled by people that are not allies, and clearly there are enemies. These are our enemies that are.
Sure.
And this strategy
I
was
think that Norm's any better than Soren was that much better than
I
Soren?
believe Norm is a good faith actor. I do.
I don't.
Beaver, Israel's an ally, Beaver. It's an ally. There's a big difference. There's a very big difference. Iran's an enemy of our country. I mean, are you going to compare China and Iran?
I think that Norm would be the first person to admit that he has his own bias. So I've been in rooms with Norm, and Norm and I agree on a lot of things, but we disagree on the and as I did with Soren, I'm the first person to admit that I have my own biases. I'm a Christian. I have Christian biases. You know, I'm an American. I have American biases. But it was really interesting to have this conversation with Soren when you say, well, do you have your own biases? No, I'm only biased to the truth. No, you're clearly not biased to the truth, and I demonstrated that time after time after time after time.
Yeah,
so that last
he got exposed royally, just
like it was like brutal, dude. Like, and again, all he had to do is like, this is the point that like Pepe, I get where you're coming from, but like this is the point where I was trying to drill down with him was like he's willing to acknowledge that 30 or 3,090 people. We all know it was a lot more than that, but he'll take credit for 3,090 people. Where the government
I get it. I get it.
Like, yeah. So
I just think that
I made my point back then.
I'm going to be honest. Like, you get people like pretty much anybody within Arab people like they have their own agenda. I get it, but I'm keenly aware of when I hear the Zionists speak. It's hard to tell if they actually believe what they're saying, and they just can't like look at their position through the lens of somebody who's not, in any way tied to Israel. I feel like they
Shut up. There's three sides to every story. Remember?
Yeah, I do think that there is a lot of manipulation and narrative peddling that to make it appear as though like this is our fight and we or somehow have to act and get ourselves entangled in whatever drama with Iran. I don't see it, and a lot of other Americans don't see it. I think it's a very hard sell, but that does not mean that the other side, the people that are pro IRGC or any of the terrorist nations or groups out there that somehow they're not at least somewhat of a threat. to West in general.
Do you think Trump has a communication problem?
No, I think he's also smart enough to know that I feel like he felt compelled to attack Iran for probably many reasons, but I don't think he was stupid enough to know that there's a good chance it would have been a big mess.
Real quick, there's to the breaking news out of Idaho. There's now been a report that an SUV has rammed the doors of the emergency hospital, St. Luke's Magic Valley. So it's unclear if this is in connection to the shooting, but obviously, just having a mass shooting and then a ramming of it all is strange to be connected.
Is the mass shooting in Idaho?
The mass shooting.
Where was it, Trent, in Idaho? Where?
Twin Falls, Idaho.
Where? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Burger.
Yeah, he shot the Tesla in the In-N-Out Burger parking lot, and then I think he shot up the place inside. But
yeah, there's two.
Did you say Twin Falls or Idaho?
Yeah.
Twin.
It's Twin Falls, Idaho. There were two shooters. One had an AR-15. The other had some sort of silenced weapon. It's unclear if the other person was trying to, it's unclear if the other person was trying to stop the other person, because the AR-15 shooter just shot up these Teslas that were charging. Though you can't tell if there was anybody actually in the Teslas that he shot at. And then now we have a ramming incident in Idaho, like at an emergency center. So it's breaking news. Not sure if it's a coordinated attack or not, but it does look like something larger than what it is.
Trent, was the ramming in Twin Falls also?
Ramming was also at St. Luke's Medical Emergency City, or St. Luke's Emergency Medical in Twin Falls. Yes.
Who did it? Can you give a name?
I don't think they have it as far as I know.
Yeah, no name so far yet.
I mean, the interesting thing is about Idaho is, for any of you that don't know, and this doesn't sound like it's what it is, but you don't get much in the way of lefties up there, and it's almost all white. Well, they have a lot of agricultural workers, Mexicans in other words, but the only crazies that are really known to Idaho are going to be like the I would say far right, like anti-government and white supremacist groups.
The Hayden Lake, Pepe.
It was a Christian, like Chick-fil-A in the South, Christian fast food. I guess so. Now I've learned In-N-Out is a Christian place, so I wonder if
it's a Christian place.
Kindred to the gods, and the bondage in these chains of the body and its manifold necessities should desire to cast them off as burdens too grievous to be borne, and depart to their true kindred. This is the struggle in which your master and teacher, were he worthy of the name, should be engaged. You would come to me and say, Epictetus, we can no longer endure being chained to this wretched body, giving it food and drink and rest and purification, aye, and for its sakes forced to be subservient to this man, and that are not these things indifferent and nothing to us? Is it not true that death is no evil? Are we not in a manner kinsmen of the gods? Have we not come from them? Let us depart thither whence we came. Let us be free.